Hi everyone, welcome back to my SQL placement series. In the previous video, we learned about having clause, its syntax, and the order of execution. Now, in this video, we will focus completely on examples and understand how having clause works internally, step by step. So guys, let's get started. Now, let us understand how the having clause works internally. Write a query to display number of employees working in each department if there are at least 3 employees in each department. So guys, here the goal is to get a list of department numbers and the total number of employees who work in department, but we have condition here that the department should have at least 3 employees. That is, department can have 3 or more than 3 employees, and if the department has only 1 or 2 people, we have to ignore it completely. And guys, many of the students struggle to determine which clauses to use when you read a question. For that, you need to look for specific keywords in the question that tell you exactly which clause to use. Here we have number of employees, which means we have to use count asterisk, which is an aggregate function which counts the number of employees in each department. This is the most important keyword. Whenever we see each or per in it, means you have to use the group by clause. And after that, we have a condition if there are at least 3 employees in each department. We have to use having clause because the condition at least 3 implies to the group's total count. That is, we have to filter the groups. So it must go in having clause. And we have used greater than or equal to 3 because the department should have 3 or more than 3 employees. And of course, since it's an employee data, the table is EMP. And guys, the column which we used in group by should also be used in select clause. Okay, I think now you got the clear idea how to write a query. Now we will see how the having clause works internally. First, the from clause executes. So SQL reads all the rows from the EMP table without applying any condition. Next, group by clause executes. Here, the rows are grouped based on department number. So all employees of department 10 come together, department 20 come together, and department 30 come together because we have only 3 departments, that is 10, 20 and 30. After grouping, SQL calculates the aggregate function. In our query, we are using count asterisk. So SQL counts how many employees are present in each of the department. Guys, please listen carefully. Even though count asterisk is written in select clause, the counting does not happen here. The count is calculated earlier. The select clause only displays the count value. Now comes the having clause. Having clause works as a group level filter. It checks the condition count asterisk greater than or equal to 3 for each department. For department 10, the count is 3. 3 is greater than or equal to 3. The condition satisfied and this group is selected. For department 20, the count is 2. 2 is not equal to or greater than 3. So the condition fails and this group is removed. For department 30, the count is 3. 3 is greater than or equal to 3. That condition is satisfied and this group is also selected. So only department 10 and 30 are selected. Finally, SQL executes the select clause. Only the department that satisfy the having condition are displayed along with its number of employees. So guys, this is the memory trick I have prepared for you. Group by clause groups the data, aggregate functions, calculate the values, and having clause filter the groups, and select clause shows the output. If you remember this clearly, then you can write query to any of the question. Now let us see a query using student table which has 4 columns, that is student ID, student name, course and marks. Display the courses in which at least 3 students are enrolled. Guys, whenever you read a question, the first thing is that you have to understand it. Here, they are not asking about individual students, they are asking about courses. So, clearly, this is a group based question. Next, look at the keyword, guys. At least 3 students. It means we need to count how many students are there in each course. So, we must use an aggregate function which is count. Now the important point. Can we use where clause here, guys? No, because where cannot be used with aggregate functions like count. Since we are applying a condition on a group and that condition involves aggregate function, we must use having clause. So guys, the logic is group the data using group by course, count students in each group using count asterisk, and then filter those groups using having count asterisk greater than or equal to 3. Now based on this understanding, we will write this query. First, select executes the from clause and fetches all the rows from the student table. Next, the group by clause groups the data based on the course column. So all Java students are grouped together, SQL students are grouped together, and also Python students are grouped together. And after grouping, SQL calculates the aggregate function. Here, count asterisk counts the number of students in each course. Now SQL executes the having clause. The condition is count asterisk greater than or equal to 3, and this condition is checked for each course group. For Java, the count is 3. 3 is greater than or equal to 3. The condition is satisfied, so Java is selected. For SQL, count is 2 and it is not greater than or equal to 3. The condition is false, so SQL is removed. For Python, the count is 3 and 3 is greater than or equal to 3 is true. The condition is satisfied, so Python is selected. Finally, the select clause displays only those courses that satisfies the having condition along with their count. So the output will show only Java and Python courses. Now we will see another query using orders table which has 4 columns, that is order ID, customer, city and amount. Display the cities where the total order amount is greater than 10,000. Guys, first understand this question properly. Here we are not interested in individual orders. We are interested in cities. So this is clearly a group based question. Next, look at the keyword total order amount. To find total, we must use an aggregate function which is sum. And since we are calculating for amount column, so we are passing amount into sum brackets. Now listen carefully. Here the condition is given, that is greater than 10,000. This condition is applied after calculating the total amount for each city. So this condition is applied for grouped data. Guys, can we use where clause? No, it doesn't work on grouped data. So we must use the having clause. The logic of this query is group the data by city, calculate total order amount using sum of amount, and then filter the groups using having sum of amount greater than 10,000. Now based on this logic, we will write this query. Now let me explain the complete query. In the select clause, we have written city and sum of amount. This means we want to display each city and the total order amount of that city. Next, the from clause tells SQL to take the data from the orders table. Then the group by clause groups all rows based on the city column. So all orders from the same city are grouped together. After grouping, SQL calculates the aggregate function sum of total for each city group. And this gives us total order amount for Bangalore, Chennai and Mumbai separately. Next, the having clause is applied. The condition sum of amount greater than 10,000 is checked for each city. If the total order amount of a city is greater than 10,000, the city is selected. If not, that city is removed from the result. Finally, the select clause displays only the city and the total order amount that satisfy the having condition. So guys, this query returns only those cities whose total order amount is greater than 10,000. That is Bangalore, where the total order amount is 12,000. So guys, that's all for this video. I've shared a few practice questions in the comment section. Please take some time to solve them and comment your answers in the comment section. That's the best way to check whether you really understood the concept or not. You can also save this video. Whenever you revise SQL, especially group by and having, you can come back to this video and use the comment section as your revision space. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends who are learning SQL or preparing for interviews, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the upcoming SQL videos. So that's all for today. See you in the next video. Happy learning.